Russell Jones, and John Miller.
Thank you for joining us. Our top story is health literacy, a large problem in the United States. It refers to someone's ability to read and understand basic health information. That knowledge allows you to make the best decision for your health.
This is an issue that is surprisingly easy to hide, and over 1/3 of Americans are affected by it. It affects all ages, backgrounds, and education levels. Today, we have a real-life patient who was affected by a health literacy barrier.
Hello, Mrs. Smith. Sorry I kept you waiting. I was consulting with a colleague regarding the presentation of your symptoms. We agree that you have eczema. Eczema is simply the medical term for any acute, non-contagious, pruritic papulovesicular dermatitis. In the initial stages of this condition, you can expect the integument to be erythematous. Additionally, characterizations include edema associated with a serous exudate in the epidermis and an inflammatory infiltrate in the dermis, oozing and vesiculation, crusting, and scaling. In the later stages, liquefaction signs of excoriation and ultimately altered pigmentation are possible. Currently, researchers are unable to isolate any single cause for this condition, though abnormal cytokines and filaggrin are likely culprits. But don't worry, Mrs. Smith. This condition is really quite common, and I plan to treat yours aggressively. Your regimen will include moisturizers concentrated with humectants, as well as a tapered corticosteroid treatment. Immunosuppressants and antihistamines may be useful in the future. We also have to identify and eliminate any allergens that may be exacerbating your condition. Do you have any questions?
No.
In that case, I'll just fax this here prescription to the pharmacist and see you in a month. Schedule an appointment with the receptionist before you leave.
Okay.
It's amazing how confusing that information can be. Our own Bill Green sat down with a health literacy expert and discussed the do's and don'ts of talking with your doctor.
I'm here today with health literacy specialist, Dr. Kim Epling. Hi, Kim. Thanks for being with us here today. So, can you tell us more about health literacy?
Yeah, well, low health literacy is a major problem that results in negative health outcomes, quality, and increased cost. It's very important for health professionals and patients to be aware of this and to find ways to improve their health literacy.
Interesting. So what types of things can health professionals do to overcome this barrier?
Well, health literacy skills rely heavily on oral communication. Most people have trouble understanding commonly used health terms, so it's important that health professionals use plain language, examples, and also visual aids when talking to patients. It also helps if they speak slowly and clearly, review the most important details, and encourage patients to ask questions. And written documents should be supplied to patients to reinforce specific instructions, and they need to be written at or below the 5th grade reading level.
So do you and other physicians feel like patients try to hide their embarrassment due to limited understanding?
Oh yes, most people do not admit to having difficulties reading and processing information, and physicians can only identify about 20% of patients with low health literacy. Physicians need to create a shame-free environment and be positive and encouraging. It is not easy for physicians to identify patients with low health literacy skills. They can use health literacy screening tests to assess that.
It's a lot of very good information you just gave us. So do you and other physicians have any advice to help patients improve their understanding of this overall health literacy problem?
Yeah, it's important that patients ask a lot of questions. There are 3 main questions that they should ask at every healthcare visit. Those questions are, what is the main problem? What do I need to do? And why is it important for me to do this? If they ask these questions, they can get a lot of information from their provider. Patients should also take the time to read the handouts they are given, and they should go to websites to learn more about the medications and their health conditions.
Again, a lot of good information. Now let's take a look at a good interaction between a patient and a doctor.
Hello, Mrs. Smith. Sorry I kept you waiting. I was discussing your case with a colleague. Based on your complaints and what you showed us, we agree that you have eczema. I know this sounds scary, but it really is quite common. Eczema is simply the medical term for skin conditions that cause itching, redness, swelling, and blisters of the skin. Unfortunately, we as scientists don't know the full cause of eczema, but we do have great treatment options. I'd like to start you on some lotions and cortisone cream. I have some pamphlets in the lobby, and we can recommend some great websites to explain this condition in more depth. Let's go get them. On the way, do you have any questions?
Well, this is kind of a lot to digest. I understand most of what you were saying, but I do have some questions. What is cortisone cream, and how long will I be on this product?
I would say that's a large improvement from what we saw earlier. Wouldn't you agree, Dr. Epling?
Yes.
All right, thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Dr. Epling, everyone. Now back to you, Rachel and John.
Thanks, Bill. Those tips were very helpful.
I know I will be using those tips at my next doctor's office visit. Stay with us for more information about your health. We'll be right back.
So you've probably heard about the huge problem with health literacy. I mean, you can't even turn on the news without hearing some expert talk about improving your health. But how do you know if it affects you?
That's right. We're here to tell you about this new tool to measure your health literacy. You have got to try this thing.
If you think you or a loved one may have low health literacy, or you just want to learn more about the issue, resources will be provided at the end of this newscast.
We've certainly learned a lot of helpful information today. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.